trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, bass. Yeah.
Hello, my lovely 6th grade students. It is I, Mrs. Leonardo, and today I'm going to try something different, and we will see if it will be successful. So here's what's going to happen. You should have a pencil. You should also have a paper that says context clues notes. And finally, you should have an additional paper that says Chapter 1 Vocabulary, and on the back side, Chapter 2 Vocabulary for the lightning thief. So pencil, context clues notes, and vocabulary page. All right, so let's get started. All right, so for today, our objective in this very short amount of time that we have on this lovely Thursday, this minimum day, our objective is going to be to list the 4 common types of context clues, and then we are going to apply them to vocabulary words in the lightning thief. So this objective actually has 2 parts, and typically I like to give you guys just one task to complete. So we'll see if this will work. Okay, so here we go. So on your notes, I want you to please write down today's objective. I'm going to give you some time to do that. You can pause the video if you need to. Okay, so today we will list the 4 common types of context clues and apply them to vocabulary words in the lightning thief. So what exactly is a context clue? Context clues are hints that are hidden within the text. If you speak Spanish, you might be familiar, well, not might be, you are familiar with the word con, and con means with. So I always like to think of context meaning with text or within the text. So when you're reading, you will occasionally come across a word that you do not know. And instead of skipping over it like you're taught in grades K through 3rd, your kindergarten, your 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade teacher might have told you, okay, if you come to a word, don't stop, just keep going, skip over it, don't worry about it. But now that you're in middle school, you have to start making sure that you don't skip over those words because you need to know those words. So now you're going to have to use context clues or hints in the text to help you define the meanings of unknown words. So, Mrs. Leonardo, why do I even need to know this? Why is this important? Thank you for asking. I thought you never'd ask. But it's important to understand context clues because it will help you define complex or difficult words. The other reason why you need to know context clues, it can increase your vocabulary. And finally, you can become a better reader. Ooh, a fly. Ooh, I'm off topic. So, the first type of context clue. This is when the word is defined directly and clearly in the sentence in which it appears. It's right there. There's no guessing. There's no hunting around for it. If you don't know the word and there's a definition context clue, it's right there. Example, you say? Of course, here it is. So look at this example. The arbitrator, the neutral person chosen to settle over a dispute, arrived at her decision. So if you're reading and you come across the word arbitrator, what? Arbitrator, what's that? Well, look, here's the definition context clue. You have arbitrator, a comma, and it tells you right here, this red part is the definition. So an arbitrator is a neutral person chosen to settle over a dispute. So let's say you and your sibling are fighting over something and you want it, your sibling wants it. You're going to have to choose a neutral person or an arbitrator to help you settle that dispute. So another sibling might not be that, good of an arbitrator because they might want one sibling to have the item and not the other. Okay, so a more neutral person, probably an adult or, someone that can step in and not be too judgmental or have a bias, that person can be the arbitrator. Example 2. The gargantuan or massive fly buzzed around Andreas's ear. So if you've never heard of the word gargantuan, but if you're reading this in the text and you see a comma and then the definition is right here, that is a definition context clue. So that lets you know, oh, gargantuan. Oh, I've never heard of that word. But according to this clue right here in the text, this definition context clue, gargantuan means massive. Just like this nasty fly that's buzzing around on our PowerPoint. Okay? So definition is the first type of context clue. It appears directly and clearly in the sentence in which it appears. Next thing, oh, I don't think you'll be able to see this. It might be outside the frame. Oh, the cat fell. Antonym context clues are usually signaled with words such as whereas, unlike, or as opposed to. So here's our first example. Unlike Jamal's room, ding, 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 signal word, which was immaculate, Jeffrey's room was very messy. So we know that Jeffrey's room is messy. This word unlike lets me know, okay, that Jamal's room is immaculate. It's clean. It's the opposite of messy. Whereas Melissa is quite lithe, her sister is clumsy and awkward. So I don't know this word, but I know that clumsy and awkward means someone that's always falling down, not paying attention, oblivious to different things. So life must be the exact opposite or in contrast to clumsy and awkward. So Melissa must be smooth, graceful, has great balance. So CFU, let's check for understanding. Let's make sure you really know what's going on here. What are context clues? Okay, so on your notes, you should have a section that's asking you to restate this. What are context clues? Okay, so write that down. So context clues, I gave you some think time there. Context clues are hints that are hidden within the text. Next question. So what's up? Why are they important? Write this down in your notes. Tell me why context clues are important. Okay. So we need context clues because it can help us define words, help us understand words that might be complex, can help us become better readers. What are definition context clues? Okay, here's some think time and wait time for you. So definition context clues are directly and clearly in the sentence in which it appears. So the word is defined right there. And finally, what word or words signal an antonym context clue? So how do you know that this particular context clue is an antonym? So words like whereas, unlike, or as opposed to, those are all examples of antonym or contrast context clues. All right, let's keep it moving. Man, my GIFs are not showing up. I think they're outside of the frame here on my computer. All right, so synonym or restatement context clues. These context clues are used in the sentence with similar meanings. So here's our first example. The slender woman was so thin, her clothes were too big on her. So the word that might be difficult for you to understand is slender. Okay, so slender, there are other words in this sentence with similar meaning. We have thin, and we know if something is too big on someone, okay, that could also mean that they're slender. Example 2. My friend Jasmine is so loquacious, I don't think she will ever stop talking. Okay, so I'm looking here. Jasmine is talking, so loquacious must mean that she's very talkative. Synonym, same word in the sentence. So inference, this is something that we've been talking about a lot with the Great Fire and now reading The Lightning Thief. A person that is a good reader has to have inferential skills. You have to be able to take what the text says. Okay. Oh, do I have a spelling error here? Oops, this should not be here. But anyway, inferential skills are important because you take what the text says and you take your own knowledge and you put them together and then you can infer. You can make a good, logical, educated guess. So inference context clues are, not where, are not directly described but need to be inferred from the context. So in other words, you have to really look at the words before and after the unknown word in order to define it. You can't just think, oh, I can't find it, oh, no, I give up. No, you have to look at words that come before that word. You have to look at words that come after it. You might have to go back up a little bit and see what else you can find in order for you to make sure you understand this word. So example 1, Walt's pugnacious behavior made his opponent back down. So here's my clues. So if his opponent, he's fighting someone, okay, and he's got to back down, I'm going to guess that pugnacious maybe means he's kind of, maybe he's angry, or what else? So I'm thinking, what does pugnacious mean? Okay, so if I'm pugnacious, maybe I'm eager to fight. I'm not going to back down. I'm a fighter. I want to quarrel. I want to argue. I'm warlike. I'm aggressive. Okay, so Walt is pugnacious. His opponent's backing down. I'm going to have to infer that based on these clues. Example 2. The man gigged the large fish, but he needed his friend to enlarge the hole to drag it out of the frigid water. So I'm not exactly sure what gig means, but I know that this guy is fishing, and he must be ice fishing because it's frigid water. The hole has to be big enough. So gig means he must have caught a fish. He caught a massive fish. All right, a final check for understanding. What is a synonym context clue? All right, so think about that. Synonym context clue. So we know that synonym context clues are when the word has similar meanings, or there are other words with similar meanings right in that sentence. How do you use inferential skills to define complex words? How do you use inferential skills to define complex words? So when you use your inferential skills, you might have to look at the words before the difficult word, the words that come after the difficult word. You're going to have to look at what the text says. You're going to have to use your own knowledge, what you've read, your background knowledge, put all those things together to come up with a logical or educated guess about that definition. Okay? Yay! This is the end. All 12 minutes and 40 seconds. But you're not done. You're almost done. So here's what's going to happen next. So you filled out your notes. If at any time you're confused, this is a video, you can always go back. Okay? After you're done with your context clues notes, you're going to take what you just learned, these 4 types of context clues. Okay? You've got definition, antonym or contrast, synonym or restatement, and inference. And now you're going to have to determine the meaning of the vocabulary words from the lightning thief. You've got 5 words for chapter 1, 5 words for chapter 2. Okay, you've got the page numbers listed on the side. You have the word. Go to those page numbers. Look at those words. See if you can figure out what those words mean. And then, not only that, tell me what type of context clues does Rick Riordan use in his book? Is he using a definition? Is he using synonym, antonym? Or is it something you're just going to have to infer? Be sure to read the directions. If you get confused with this assignment, ask 3 other people before you come and ask me. Or you can, alternatively, you can replay this video. Okay? So, let's briefly recap. Today we listed the 4 types of context clues. There are 4. 4, 4, 4. Definition, antonym or contrast, synonym or restatement, inference. And now you're going to apply this knowledge to unknown vocabulary words in the lightning thief. Okay? All right, so I believe that is it for this evening. Or, not this evening. I'm actually recording it in the evening. But you will see this tomorrow or Thursday. It'll be daytime for you. All right, that concludes today's brief mini lesson on context clues. See you later. Have a good day.